And here we go. We are diving into our next series, into our ZvT, our first non-PvP of the night. I'm excited, Papi. I'm excited. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing his new team, Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Terran player, hailing from the land of South Korea, living in Japan. Representing his team, Hyper One, it is HonMonO. The most honorable of honorables. Speaking of being honorable, Proxy. Let us go. The Proxy Raxes are upon us. HonMonO, of course, is the cheesiest Terran player in all of South Korea. Again, cheese and aggression is all he is about. At times he does play macro. He is sometimes known as Hon Macro or Hon Mech at times. You know, he does kind of wear that mantra from time to time, but for now it's going to be Proxy 3x. Proxy 3x here from HonMonO. We have a third SCV. 3x's are upon us, and he should be amassing Marines. Again, no gases have been taken. Oh, that is a fourth SCV. We're going all in. This is going to be a one base all in out of HonMonO. 3 Raxes, you can transition out of this normally, but with a fourth SCV, that is that much more committed here from HonMonO. Dark back at home and going for a safe opener, by the way. HonMonO has a reputation. That's the problem when you're a cheeser. That's the problem when all you do is cheese, is that you have a reputation. Dark went for a delayed expansion. That's why this hatchery is so late. He went for a gas pool. Sorry, went for a pool gas opener here. Dark, very safe. Queens are out. Lings are already out as well. And we are looking for the aggression. We're looking for the proxy. There we go. SCV does confirm how late the expansion is. Dark going to be checking with his links. He's scouring the map. He's looking for the proxy. But now he doesn't quite come across it. SCVs are being pulled, of course. Marines are amassing. We should be throwing down some bunkers. Up. And the Marines, they have been revealed. Dark now fully aware of what's going on. Throws down a Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler in the main base. There are 4 SCVs in total. He should be aware that he can defend his main base. He can maybe give up on his natural. Overlord does fall. Bunkers are on the way, and yeah, Dark, he's ideally looking to give up in his natural base. He's throwing down a Roach Warren, Spine Crawlers, Queens. He's amassing an army. Ooh, Lings are bleeding out as Dark tries to get across the map, which he does. He's chipping away at that wall. Marines, they try to dive into the main, but we have 2 Queens lying in wait. And yeah, there's no way into the main base, not against this. Now, the thing here is that HonMonO, yes, he will kill the base. He will 100% kill this expansion, but we need more than the expansion. The expansion is not enough damage. HonMonO, he needs to do more. Kills the natural. Roaches are in production as we speak. 6 roaches on the way. Ooh, Dark supply block, though. After losing that hatchery. Queen's moving down, trying to save those roaches. Ooh, but 2 of them go down. We get a third. 3 roaches do fall. Good trade here from HonMonO. Very nice trades. So we do have Dark still forcing some more spine time here across the map. Marines, they're racing back. Oh my god. We're turning back around. HonMonO, he's racing back home. Interesting choice. So typically in this scenario, we would see the Terran player throw down 3 bunkers. 3 bunkers here and contain their opponent for as long as possible and then transition back at home. Instead, HonMonO, he races back home. He doesn't contain Dark. Doesn't contain him. Dark, he's looking for the bunkers. Nothing here. No bunkers to deal with. Dark, I'm sure, content about that. And HonMonO, he's going to try and, again, work on that next step back at home. Factory is on the way. Dark, he re-expands. He's moving out with his army. Moving out with his Ravagers, moving out with his Roaches. CC is on the way for HonMonO. But can he survive? That's the question. Dark, he's rotating over with his Overlord to get high ground vision. Oh, this is smart. So HonMonO, He has his Marines hidden here at his natural. His goal is for this army to actually try to focus down this wall, and then HonMonO comes in from behind and he catches the Ravagers. Again, HonMonO, he does see the Ravagers. He's gonna try to come in from behind, try to catch out this army. It looks like, oh, he barely will get one, potentially. Pile goes off, does connect. One Ravager does fall. We get the Overlord as well. Good pickoffs here by HonMonO. Gets one Ravager, almost gets another. Not quite able to. Cyclone does arrive. Gets another Ravager. Oh, these are some rough trades here for Dark. A third, a fourth Ravager goes down. But we're still trading well. Surprisingly so. Good control here out of Dark. He does kite away. Takes down the Cyclone. Big pick off. Cyclone goes down. Most Marines as well. The one Ravager does survive. And we're rallying more Roaches across the map. HonMonO is still on one base. Getting into additional Cyclone production. Takes down the final Ravager. And back at home, Dark is saturating a little bit. He's droning up his natural. At least a handful of drones. And yeah, Dark, he's backing off. He's coming back home and he is just droning. We're going into a longer game. We are getting in towards the mid game here. As HonMonO, he expands, he takes his natural. Likewise, Dark taking his third. Now, these floating Raxes are going to be able to confirm this. They do confirm. Cyclone drop on the way. I do like the Cyclone drop. There's a lot of micro potential with this drop. With this army. We could hunt down Overlords, Queens, Roaches, Drones. Speaking of Overlords, we do get one. One Overlord is going to go down. As we look for another. We're keeping Dark busy. Across the map. Ooh, my apologies. Sorry, I thought that was the natural base. No, that was the third CC. Very greedy here by HonMonO. Getting into his natural. Third CC is already done by this point. Soon to be an Oracle. Oracle? Orbital. What I meant to say. Ooh, as we have been a little bit too greedy. Natural base does evacuate. At least HonMonO doesn't lose any SCVs. There we go. We do shut down those rocks. Pushing towards the base. There is a tank on the high ground, so HonMonO is going to be able to hold on. Does defend his main. Banshee's on the way as well, and I believe Dark does not see. He has an Overlord. He's dipping in. But he doesn't get eyes on the production. He is in the dark. A couple of piles will connect, but some brutal trades here for Dark as he is at least containing. That's the goal here, to contain to one base. Doesn't matter how many orbitals you have. Doesn't matter how many SCVs you have. You cannot mine. Banshee is revealed. A big scout here from Dark. He can start up Spores, Queens, and be ready for this. The Banshee is going across the map. Oh, the miles! They are going to be dodged. Now, we don't need any Spores. The layer is almost done. We can morph into an Overseer. Cyclone's racing across the map, but the Queens are in position. We do force this back. Behind this, HonMonO reestablishing his natural, soon working towards his third. Orbital is done. Oh, brutal supply block though. HonMonO, he is supply blocked. Working towards a bio composition 1-1, about to finish. Stim on the way. Third base being landed, and Dark is going Roach Ravager into an Infestation Pit. This should be Roach Ravager into Infestors. I imagine we're going to be working towards +1 range, and there it is. Range is on the way. This does lead into Hydra, Lurker, Viper. Eventually. Does lead there. As HonMonO, he's establishing his third base. Again, he's holding his own for the time being. I mean, Dark is ahead economically. That is true. He has a fully saturated third, and Dark should be working towards a fourth. He's being very larva efficient with his Roach Ravager. It is 4th base soon to be on the way. HonMonO in position to delay it. Oh. So do throw down that 4th. Good split here by Dark. He does leave a couple of roaches behind, just to make sure we're in position. Queen's in the main base as well to deny the drop, and there we go. Infestors are on the way. I love the Infestors here incorporated by HonMonO. Banshees have arrived. Queens are rotating over, but these Banshees, they should force a cancel. It's going to be close, but the cancel should be there. Oh, that's just barely in time. Just barely we do cancel. Queens, they finally get here, and we should be able to expand. Big scam. We do confirm the Infestors. We confirm the Infestation Pit. No Hive yet. But we are at least aware of the composition and aware of the potential for Dark. We are aware here. Again, we're going for some drop play. Overseer comes in. We confirm the bio army. Very important. HonMonO, he's known for mech. He's known for his mech style at times against Zerg. So it is important here that, oh god, no, that Dark does confirm. As he piles down his own tumor. Not like this. It's okay, it's being replaced. And here we go. HonMonO is pushing. Has a pretty terrifying army. He's hitting with 1-1. Has 4 tanks. Oh, Dark getting ready for some fungals, though. It's getting ready to come in from behind. There we go. The tanks a little bit late to siege the Infestors. They come out, and a big fungal here on the army. The Wilds, they connect with the Medivacs of all things. Medivacs, they do go down. Fungal does graze the army. The tanks are holding the line. We do have to respect them. But outside of that, yeah, there just is not enough bio left on the ground. The Fungals have been too good, and Dark, he shuts down this army, cleans up the Marines, cleans up the Marauders. 1 Medivac does survive. Reinforcements are on the way, but there just is not enough on the ground. HonMonO, he had potential with this army, but the Fungals were brutal. The engagement was brutal, and he will lose almost everything. We have a handful of units left, a handful of units remain. But again, it is not going to be enough. Only a single tank survives. And behind this, Dark, he's on 5 bases. HonMonO, he has been making non-stop workers. You know, I have to give credit where credit is due, and that is the fact that HonMonO, his macro has been pretty damn solid here when it comes to his SCVs. 70 workers, 4th base is being taken. Not the gold, unfortunately, but a 4th base nonetheless. The problem, though, is the army. Like, sure, HonMonO, he may have been making workers, he may have a good economy, but the army for Dark is massive. He was able to take a bit of fight, he was able to trade more efficiently overall, and with that, Dark has a massive lead. He's about to max out. Once again, the fungal! Massive fungal here on the drop. Marines go down. We do force down. We do manage to get on top of the Infestor at least. But things are looking a little bit dire here for HonMonO. Behind this, Dark not going into Hydra Lurker Viper, he's transitioning into +1 melee, into Lingbane, Roach Ravager with Vipers to support. But no Hydras necessary. Not anymore. Nidus Worm on the way. Dark, he wants to try to turn up the heat. Once they get across the map, 4th base is up and running. 74 workers here. HonMonO, if given time, he will remax. If given time. That's a big if, though. Especially considering that Dark, he is not usually one to give his opponent time to be that lenient. As the armies, they're going to be clashing. Dark being forced back. More Banelings on the way. 28 Banelings in production. That's a lot of Banelings. That's a lot of Banelings, Papi. As we are slowly encroaching upon that goal base, but Dark, he's maxed out. He collapses in this position. Big blinding clouds here on the tanks. Every tank is covered. The Bio Army as well. And Dark, he does overwhelm. Shuts down the tanks. Backs off from there. Doesn't want to overextend. He is more than happy to fight on creep. Come at me, bro. Follow me onto creep, Papi. And meanwhile, remember that Nidus. Nidus in towards the main base. As we collapse on this army, the tank is going to be going down. The HonMonO distracted, focusing on the Nidus instead. Nidus will complete. Lings are flooding in, only a handful of them. But Dark, his main army, still breaks through. How many tanks on the high ground? One. Only a singular tank is going to be able to hold on for now. Again, Dark just calming things down, backing off, remaxing, waiting for his upgrades. +2 is about to finish. Adrenal is done. And 2-3 is on the horizon. HonMonO going for a massive Doom drop. That's a lot of medevacs. That's 8 medevacs on the way. Nidus is denied. Again, I do appreciate that HonMonO, you know, he's maxing out. He has a comparable army. He does come in from the right-hand side, catching Dark out of position. But HonMonO, he still hasn't really touched the economy of Dark. Not yet. Oh no! HonMonO with almost nothing to defend back at home. The tank goes down. SCVs are exposed. Marines overstimmed. And it does look like there's just too much here. 13, 14 SCVs going down. We take control of the third base. And Darky's rolling in towards the planetary. Big connections. Banelings, they crash into the mineral line. They bring down the planetary. And HonMonO's all in. At this point, he's completely all in. It's all or nothing. Dark, does he turn around? The answer is no. Doesn't even turn around. He has to be careful though. That's a pretty terrifying army. Terrifying army pushing him. But Banelings, that we connect here. The Banelings, they do connect here. We take them to the face. Lingbane rolling in from behind as well. There is no way out. The splits are good. But this is all we have. And Darky will clean this up. He races back home. He has a massive economic lead. And this is all we have left. HonMonO is down to 15 Marines, 10 Marauders, 2 Liberators. A good amount of medevacs, but just not enough to support them. Or not enough to be supported. File's going to be connecting. Do collapse on the army. Again, a good spread here from HonMonO. It's impressive how he's been able to fight despite how much has been going against him. But the Vials, they connect, they bring down the Lib. And I'm waiting for the power bombs. I'm waiting for a way to deal with these medevacs. Yeah, we do get them. Oh god, oh god. Bit of a panic split there from HonMonO. Takes a lot of damage on those medevacs. They're all deep in the red. Widowmines are repositioning, but they're going to be going down to the Vials. Massive Vials on the army. God, and those medevacs are so insanely low. HonMonO is trying to make this work, going for the last push. Remember, he lost his 4th, he lost his 3rd. He's on 2 bases. He cannot sustain himself. We're floating over the 4th. Yeah, it is a fresh 4th. I think it's the 3rd base floating over, as it did take a lot of damage. Did take a lot here. As you had Dark, he's just dealing with what little's left. Massive power bombs here on the army. 1 medevac survives. That's all we have left. The Lingbane collapses on these Marines. The mine. Oh, good connection. Good connection on the Banelings. But the writing is on the wall at this point. HonMonO, he's down to his last medevac. GG gets called. There's nothing left, and Dark will take game number 1. We'll take a lead in this series. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was an interesting start. To wind it back a little bit, remember, it did begin with HonMonO going for a proxy, did go for a proxy 3 racks, did kill a base, and we were able to make a game out of it. We both backed off, we transitioned. a big reason as to why HonMonO was able to recover the way that he did and continue the game was due to the fact that he, of course, went for a very fast third. Went for a insanely fast third CC before Factory, I believe. And as a result, was able to get into it economically, able to have a back and forth. Unfortunately, though, he was outscaled. His economy was crippled. He barely had any mining whatsoever towards the end of that game. He was pulled apart. It was impressive how well he was able to fight, but again, there was no longevity to the army of HonMonO. And with that, Dark does take a 1-0 lead. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Let's go. It's going to be taking place on Golden Aura. Is on Golden Aura, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. Oh, interesting. Going for a 15-15. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Hyper 1, living in the land of Japan. It is HonMonO. I love the reactions in chat. I think Noam Chomsky, I think he just saw what was at a game. ¿Qué tal, papi? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? But yeah, a very safe opener here from Dark. It's going to be a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. Very safe way to play. And just like the last game, I think this is a really smart way to play against HonMonO. Just because he is known for cheese, he is known for aggression, he's known for being in your face. So again, it does make a lot of sense here by Dark. As I say that, Dark has been one to open up gasless on Golden Aura in this matchup. I'm curious if he will. It's a 15-15 to begin with, but do we go for a hatchery before gas? That's what I'm curious about. Back at home, it's going to be a Rax Expand. This time a standard opener here from our Terran player. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. This time, no cheese, no proxy. A little bit disappointing, but it's okay. I understand, Papi. I understand. So there we go. CC on location. Gas is being taken before the third. So Dark, he's not opening up gasless. Just a more standard 15-15 opener. Do love to see it. And with that, we are going to be settling into our game. Again, makes sense not to be too overly greedy against HonMonO, just in case he was being cheesed out. And the SV Scout does confirm the lack of fast third. I think Dark Talon would be better. Yeah, these team, you know, one of these days, Dark's team is gonna have an in-game clan tag. For those that are curious, if you remember, for the past couple of years, it used to be DPG Dark or DKZ Dark as well. Just because Dragon Phoenix Gaming and Dragon Kaiser Gaming never had in-game teams. Or in-game teams, so no like logos or anything like that. Similar with Talon Esports, Dark just adds the name of his team to his name in-game, because there's no in-game team. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. It's similar with, I mean, obviously Hero, because he's also on DKZ. And same with Team Liquid, actually. Team Liquid, they do have the Team Liquid team inside. I think they have the Team Liquid team in Europe, but I don't think they have it on NA. So I think on NA, that's why you have like Liquid Skillus and Liquid Clem and Liquid in front of their names, instead of it actually being in-game, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird, not gonna lie. I'm shaking my head, mana. Get on that. God damn it. I almost said shaking my head TLO, but TLO's on Shopify. And Shopify, they've got it down. They've got their in-game team. They know how to StarCraft. As we are settling into this, and for the time being, it is going to be a third base. Well, pretty standard third base timing here. Ooh, Link Speed does kick in. We do catch the Reaper. Very nicely done by Dark. does shut it down. Behind this, it is going to be a 1-1-1 opener, 1-1-1 follow-up. I mean, third CC before starport, into Hellion production, into Banshee. So a very standard game here, a very standard build out of HonMonO. He spiced things up in game 1, but here in game number 2, he is calming things down, going for a very meta build. Very economic. Fast third, into Banshees. Banshee-based openers are really smart against Dark because Dark is very fond of roaches, so Banshees will keep you safe. Just a very safe and secure way to open up. And lo and behold, we have a roach war. We have a roach war on the way. It is going to be roaches out of Dark. Shock horror, but again, it's what he's known for. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Behind this double eBay, it is going to be bio, not mech, thankfully. As the Hellions are threatening towards the left, we have the Banshee moving out towards the right. Ooh, did we lose? Yeah, we did end up losing one of the Hellions. A bit of an overextension from HonMonO. A little bit brutal. We would like to hold on to them. That needs to be an emote. You're an animal. Ay, ay, ay. As HonMonO is just landing his third base on location, getting into the rest of these Raxes. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup here. Soon to be a 5-1-1 setup on 3 bases. And we're getting into our game. We're getting into StarCraft. Double Evo Chamber. This should be for +1 range and +1 carapace to commit to Roach Ravager. Eventually, we can transition into Ling Bane Roach Ravager as the game does progress. We can get there. And yeah, there we go. We have 4 Raxes on the way in addition to the one that we already have. 5 Raxes in total. So a very standard setup here on 3 bases. Very standard, as Dark is going to be refining his army a little bit further here. Infestation bit's on the way. Now this is for a Hive, that is true, but the Hive is going to be delayed because this should be for faster infestors. As we saw in the last game, Roach Ravager, the one thing that they struggle with when it comes to bio is the fact that Roach Ravager doesn't have any splash damage. Biles, sure, but Biles are the most reliable against a bio-focused army or bio-centric army. Biles are not what you really want to be relying on. Infestors with fungals, though, that's a little bit different, especially in the new patch. Fun fact, in the new patch, infestors, they do pop out with enough energy for a fungal growth. They essentially start with pathogen glands. And there it is. 2 infestors are on the way. Behind this, now working towards the Hive, Baneling Nest. So it is going to be Roach Ravager into Ling Bane. With, of course, the infestors to support. Here we go. Behind this, HonMonO has been pretty passive. I'm a little bit concerned. HonMonO has been very passive. We're just chilling, building up on 3 bases. Hasn't really done too much with these Banshees. He dipped in like once and that's it. So again, I'm a little bit surprised that the Banshees haven't been denying creep or denying the 4th base. And instead, we're moving out with our entire army. Armory is done. Hellbats can be morphed in. Banshees have arrived, and we are pushing out with 1 tank. Uh-oh. Not going to be ideal here. Wild's going to be missing. Tank does siege. Dark being forced further and further back. Is forced further back here as we do see HonMonO pushing towards the left-hand side. He's got his tanks, they're reinforcing. We have the Banshees as well. The Fungal does connect. The Wilds! Oh my god! They do graze those Banshees. 1 Banshee does go down. Bathing speed still not done, by the way. We're building up towards that Ling Bane. We're actually working towards Ultras. A very greedy move here by Dark. At the same time, a massive Ling counter stack. I was wondering, where were the Lings? They're not here, they're across the map instead. We get a kill, not a cancel on a CC. 400 minerals down the drain, 6 SCVs go down. And the Lings, they do back off. They live to fight another day. HonMonO, who was forced to turn back around. The entire army came back home, which means Dark, he gets away with his 4th, his 5th, and his 6th. 6th base is being thrown down. We're up 3 bases compared to the Terran. Dark, he's snowballing out of control. He collapses on these tanks. We get 1, we get 2 tanks. Just barely. Very big pickups here from Dark. Fusion, oh my god, what? A fusion core on the way. Okay. I imagine for Liberator range, another base is denied. And at the same time, Lings, they do collapse here on the 3rd, and HonMonO is being pulled apart left and right. He just cannot keep up. SCVs are falling. And how many tanks are remaining? We have 2 tanks here in the main, and those are, okay, 4 tanks in total. So we have the other 2 tanks on the low ground. But again, Dark, he's maxing out. He's on 82 workers. The ideal worker count. He got away with his Hive, got away with his Ultra Cavern. Vipers are amassing energy. Ultras are on the way. Kindness Plating just now starts up. And HonMonO, he's still stuck at home licking his wounds. Throwing down his 4th base on location. Throwing down his tanks. This tank line is solid, don't get me wrong. But what can deal with the tank line? Vipers. We don't have any Vipers here. Ooh, this is a brutal trade. Bit of a brute force way of dealing with it. Not the best trade from Dark. Again, we have Vipers. We can just blind in Cloud. We're making this a little bit harder than it needs to be. Bailey's roll in. Massive connections. We bust into the mineral line. 21 SCVs go down. And where are those Vipers? They're coming. They're finally on the way. And with them, we can break this location. The high ground will not matter. The tanks will not matter. It's going to be all about those Vipers. All about the Zerg army. The Swarm. Here we go. Dark, he is committing. He is pushing. HonMonO has a comparable army size. That is true. It's a comparable army, but it's not going to be enough. There we go. The Lightning Clouds are thrown down, covering every single tank. Tanks are going to be going down. The Vanians, they crash into the mineral line. We catch a lot of mules. Oh my god, and the splits are not there. No splits whatsoever. We take the Baileys to the face. We take the Baileys to the face, the Ultras as well. We're kiting our hearts out, but we're down to 1 Marauder, 0 Marauders. GG gets called, and Dark will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. A solid series out of Dark. I do want to give some credit to HonMonO though, because yes, here in Game 2, it was a little bit more one-sided. Game 2 was 100% more one-sided here in favor of Dark. He was so much more in form, just able to pull apart his opponent left and right. Game number 1 was closer on Alcyone. Game number 1, HonMonO was able to actually get into his game, was actually able to threaten Dark, deny bases, go for drop play. Yeah, he wasn't looking too bad in Game 1. Was actually keeping up from time to time with Dark. I was very impressed. Very impressed on Alcyone. Golden Aura, a little bit less so, was Golden Aura. HonMonO did struggle a little bit more, but regardless, I hope he enjoyed the series, and I hope he can learn from this as well. Dark is coming in as the heavy favorite. Dark, he is the best Zerg player in South Korea, so it's difficult for anyone to face off against him. So no shame in going down to Dark. GG, well played. Dark advances onto the semis, and HonMonO is eliminated from the tournament. GG. And with that, we can have a little bit of a gander, a peek at what is to come in those semifinals. Oh boy, I do need a moment to set things up. But up first, we're going to be following Dark into his next series. It is going to be Dark versus Estrella in a ZvP. Let me just quickly set that up. Here we go. Bam! Dark versus Estrella is going to be coming up next in a ZvP best of 3 semifinals match. If you weren't here for it, we casted Estrella earlier, and Estrella, he did take down Classic in a Protoss versus Protoss matchup. Very impressive. Classic was the favorite player, and Classic, he was denied. He was shut down by Estrella. A big win for our American Protoss, the NA Hope. Was amazing to see. Likewise, we have another series thereafter. We have the lower semifinals, which I am setting up as well. It is Dark's ex-teammates. As I quickly try to get eyes on things. It is going to be a PvP between Hero and Nightmare. We just casted Nightmare earlier. He did bring down Creator. It was a close series, was a very close PvP, but Nightmare did come out on top. So he will be advancing on to the semifinals to face off against Hero as well. Boy, it is not going to be easy, not whatsoever. So that's what's to come. That is what is to come here, both semifinals and then the finals thereafter. We're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a very short break. So take this moment to hydrate your hydras, stretch roaches, massage your marines, get some snacks, and of course posture check as well. We're going to be going on a short break, and when we return, we will have the second half of the broadcast. See you soon. See you soon. Ha.